The mother of all semifinals is here as Serena Williams and Victoria Azarenka meet for the 24th time for a spot in the US Open final. Will Serena reach her third consecutive final in New York, or will Vika make her first in 7 years? I'll break down this match and give my prediction here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today. Serena started her campaign for number 24 against American Christiane, taking a scrappy 7-5, 6-3 win. In the next round, she had another scrappy victory over Margarita Gasparian, winning 2-4. The third round saw Serena's first true test and a high-quality opponent, and she passed with flying colors, beating Sloane Stephens 2-6, 6-2, 6-2. In the round of 16, she had an even sterner test in Maria Sakkari, surviving her 6-3, 6-7, 6-3. Yesterday against Pirankova, she had yet another tough match, winning that one 4-6, 6-3, 6-2. Azarenka won her first match against Austrian Barbara Haas 6-1, 6-2. She then picked up a really impressive victory over compatriot Aryna Sabalenka, beating the 5th seed 6-3, 6-1. Vika took out Iga Swiatek 6-4, 6-2. Then in the round of 16, she dropped her first set of the tournament to Karolina Muchova, but won that match 5-7, 6-1, 6-4. Lastly, in the last 8, she had the most dominant performance of the tournament, destroying 16th seed Elise Mertens 6-1, 6-love. The head-to-head between these two women seems very one-sided on paper, with Serena leading it 19-4. However, literally all of their matches have been competitive. Even their last meeting at Indian Wells in the second round was a straight set win in favor of Williams, but was still regarded as the best women's match of that year by many. Serena and Vika have played at the US Open 3 times in 2011, 2012, and 2013. 2012 and 2013 of course being classic finals that swung in Williams' favor. In Indian Wells, Serena often overpowered Azarenka and was able to dominate many of the rallies, especially on serve. Both players actively attacked each other's second serve. Serena often cut off the angles, especially off the weaker Azarenka forehand. She likely won't be able to do this here because Vika's forehand has improved a lot and really penetrates through the court more. This really was the difference maker of the match, as Serena was just better and stronger from the ground and just wore Azarenka down. For Serena to have a similar result here in New York, she needs to have a high first serve percentage. Serena can't afford to give Vika a lot of looks as second serves because she will attack them even more than Pirankova and Sakkari. Getting that first serve in also puts her on the front foot, which is when she wins most of the rallies in this rivalry. Serena has been serving pretty well in this tournament thus far, notching 20 aces against Pirankova in their previous round. She has to keep that high level of serving here. The next point is to put pressure on Vika's second serve. This is something none of Azarenka's opponents have been able to do consistently, and it will probably be the weakest shot she'll see from Azarenka. Still, on the return side of things, Serena needs to back up. This has frustrated me so much in all of Serena's matches because she just stands far too close to the baseline on the first serve. This was the reason behind many of her shanks, as the ball just came too close in her body and she robbed herself of time. Not only did she rob herself of time on the return, but the second shot as well, because she'll have to cover more court. In general, she is just too close to the baseline, and for none of her team members to point this out to her is frustrating and scary. How can Patrick not see this? It's the very reason why she hit so many lefty returns yesterday against Pirankova. Anyways, moving on, Serena has to be more active with her feet from the first ball. She played well against Pirankova for the most part, but in the early stages of that match, Serena's footwork wasn't the best, so she has to be aware of this. Her footwork against Azarenka in 2019 was good the entire match, so she needs to keep this intensity here. She likely will be more intense, seeing that she has an extensive history with Vika. The fifth key is to actually attack the backhand side of Azarenka. Previously this wasn't the case, but Azarenka's forehand has improved remarkably, and she's now winning more of her points on that side. The final point is to use the backhand down the line more. Vika's strategy of choice is to pull her opponents off the court on the backhand side, then finish with a backhand down the line. In Indian Wells, Serena often prevented this from happening by using the backhand down the line herself to keep Vika on the run more. In the quarters, Mertens won most of her points by doing this, so Serena needs to do the same, but more often. For Victoria to beat Serena, she also needs to have a high first serve percentage, but with good placement. In the 2016 Indian Wells final, Azarenka with her placement was amazing, and whenever she did get that first serve in, she won most of the points. When serving, Azarenka needs to direct a lot of those serves to the Serena forehand. The forehand return has always been an unknown for Williams, but here at the Open, especially yesterday, it's been very inconsistent. Vika should actively attack that side. While on the topic of Serena's forehand, Azarenka has been the steadier player on that wing, winning most of her points on that side, so she needs to try and look for more forehand rallies. Serena's forehand is good on put-away shots, but oftentimes she shanks them on simple neutral balls. Like Serena, Azarenka should look at attacking the second serve, because that too will be the weakest shot she'll see in a rally, and was how she won a lot of her points in both Indian Wells matches. Last but not least, of course, Vika should try to find her backhand down the line after pulling Serena wide on her backhand, as it's her specialty and something she did well in Indian Wells. Much like Brady and Osaka, this match is hard to predict because both are playing so well, but there are just so many unknown factors. Will Serena recover after 3 straight 3-setters, especially after yesterday, where she had to get constantly low for those Poronkova slices? Azarenka, even though she played later, will likely be more refreshed. Azarenka has also had a really good attitude this entire tournament, having a good balance of being intense and relaxed. If she can maintain this attitude against Serena, she will be very difficult to beat. I don't know if she will keep the same mentality because Serena is a completely different opponent and she tends to be really intense against her. Azarenka may also experience a change in mentality if the match goes deep or when it's time to close, because this is by far the biggest match of her career since giving birth. She hasn't reached a major final since 2013, and while she says she's been fearless since the return, there's bound to be some nerves. Serena has the upper hand here because she has reached 4 major finals since giving birth, winning all 4 of the major semifinals she's played in thus far. Another thing in Serena's favor is her preparation in high level of opponents. Serena has probably faced the toughest opposition in the tournament, with Sloane, Maria, and Svetlana playing like they can win the title. Sabalenka and Mertens, though, disappointed despite Azarenka's high play, so Vika will likely have to raise her game even more. This would be especially tough, seeing as though she played at her highest level possible yesterday against Mertens, so she is less likely to regain and maintain that form against Serena. Serena also has more potential for improvement, because even though she played well yesterday against Poronkova, she won't be satisfied with some aspects of her game and will look to make more improvements. She, I feel, will be more ready and more intense, which is why I have her winning in 3 sets. I originally was going to pick Azarenka in 2 tight sets, based off of how well she played yesterday and the fact that she'll likely be the fresher player. However, after sleeping on it, I think the pressure will come for her in this match, especially when it gets time to close. Once again, this is her biggest match in a long time, so it's likely we'll see a different attitude. If Vika wins this match, it has to be in 2 sets, because Serena is just more clutch in 3 sets, being in that position 3 times this event. Thus, if it does go 3, which I feel it will, I pick Serena. Do you agree that Serena will overcome Vika to reach her 3rd straight US Open final? Or will Azarenka maintain her current mentality to reach her 3rd US Open final and 1st in 7 years? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever we post new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.